Ho messo gli occhi su di te, tu sei diversa e non lo sai, tu balli e ridi tra di noi, ma sono tristi gli occhi tuoi, è come sei, somigli un po' a me. Ho messo gli occhi su di te, per una storia che non so, che vuoi nascondere ma che sta tutta là negli occhi tuoi, è come sei, somigli un po' a me. Balla, non pensiamoci, balla, divertiamoci, balla, sorridiamoci, balla, e diciamoci basta. Ho messo gli occhi su di te, tu sei diversa e non lo sai, qualcosa vuoi dimenticare, tu balli e non ti stanchi mai, è come sei, somigli un po' a me. Ho messo gli occhi su di te.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Starfury Facebook Live, our latest update on what's happening in the world of Starfury conventions, to let you all know what's happening with our events as we go forward into 2022 with our conventions, what events are happening, what guests you can expect to see, and what is the latest news and gossip happening with our events. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're all doing well. We've got a lot of exciting news tonight. We've got unfortunately, some bad news as well. I'll get onto that in a minute. But we've got a few guest announcements. We've got a date change on one event. We've got quite a bit to announce. However, just to let you know, please bear with me tonight for tonight's Facebook Live, as I'm having to do all the tech stuff myself across all the Facebook Live events that we've done over the past 2 years since the pandemic began to keep you guys updated. I've been the front guy, but I've had Jo. She's been doing all the tech stuff behind the scenes. However, unfortunately, Jo's on holiday at the moment. She's in America attending Christmas Con. Yeah, Christmas Con is a convention for fans of Hallmark TV, which truly goes to prove there's a convention for just about everything. So she's at Christmas Con this weekend. So as well as fronting the Facebook Live, I've got to press all the buttons and do all the stuff. So it might not be as smooth and professional looking as it has been in the past. There might be a few mistakes and errors, but I'll do my best as we go along on this. But I would have actually left the Facebook Live to next Friday. Next Friday is actually going to be an important date, because that's when all the agents go on holiday for 2 weeks. So any deals that I'm doing on actors to try and get them sorted out and confirmed for the event, if I don't have them done by next Friday, then I have to wait till January 4th. So by next Friday, we'll have all the information that we need. Otherwise, you've got to wait till January for that. But there was 2 major things that have happened which I felt we had to announce straight away. So even though Jo wasn't available, I felt it was very important to get it out there and let you know, guys, know on 2 things which are happening with 2 of the events. So normally I'd be going now through, I'll be looking at the events we've just had and discussing what we're doing in terms of our safety, anti-COVID precautions for the event. But I'm just going to jump straight into it now to get some of the bad news out of the way. Now, unfortunately, with events, when you're trying to run an event, the finances are very, very important. You got to pay for guests, you got to pay for flights, you got to pay for the venue, there's the tech equipment, all those kind of costs come very much into factor. And when you've also got a situation where at the same time you're offering refunds on events, you can suddenly have an event suddenly becomes financially impractical to go ahead with. Now, all the events except for one are fine, but unfortunately, I have to announce tonight. And I really did everything I could to make sure we didn't have to do this, but I've really been left with no choice. But sadly, we're going to have to cancel our Sabrina event, Starfury Greendale. The initial response to Greendale, sadly, was not as strong as I'd hoped. I'm a big fan of the show. I absolutely love it. I thought it was going to be a big hit doing a Sabrina event. And when I initially announced it, when it was supposed to be run last year, the uptake was certainly not what we had expected. However, I was still going to go ahead with it. However, we've had problems trying to get Michelle Gomez back on board. There's no way now we could afford Kian and Shipka. It's looking like we're going to lose another guest due to problems in terms of the deal on exclusivity, and the refund requests that we've had to process have just been too much. And now it's got to a point where, sadly, it's no longer practical for us to be able to go forward with this event. I really worked really hard on this event. I really wanted to make this event happen. I was really looking forward to this event and meeting myself, the cast of Sabrina, and putting on an event to celebrate the show. But unfortunately, the finances aren't there to make this event go ahead. And especially, it's that unfortunate problem we've got as a result of the pandemic. Events have had to be delayed nearly 2 years, change of dates. We felt the right thing to do is to offer refunds, but then you have the problem, especially for an event with Starfury, where the events aren't really done to make a profit, they're just to cover their costs. But then when you're reducing the finances even further, suddenly it becomes unpractical to run an event. And just when we did the refunds, when we had the refund period last month, it just really became too much on the event. So sadly, we're going to have to cancel now the Sabrina convention. Now we're going to start doing all the tickets, and all the photo ops will be refunded. We're going to start the refund period next week on all the tickets for the Sabrina convention. So we're going to start those refunds next week. So if you've purchased a ticket, if you were somebody who purchased a ticket and didn't already request a refund, if you're somebody had stuck by us, I'm really sorry we've had to do this to you, but we will start refunding your tickets next week. And we'll also, after that, get all the photo ops that have been pre-ordered as well, get all of them refunded as well. You don't need to contact me at the moment. Unfortunately, with Joe away, I can't send out an email at the moment, but next week we'll also be sending out a bulk email to everybody who still had a ticket for Greendale to let them know what's going on, to let them know that their refund is being processed, and we'll get that done. I'm aiming to have that done next weekend, get all the refunds done. I can only offer my apologies. I can only say to you, I absolutely worked my damnedest to make this event work. But sadly, there was nothing I could do to keep the event going. And, you know, as I say, I can really only offer my apologies on that event. On another event, some details that we have to announce is with Starfury VoughtCon, that we're having to change the dates of the event. Starfury VoughtCon is now moving to April 8th, 10th, and it won't be at the Renaissance Hotel anymore. Instead, it's going to be at the Hilton Hotel, Birmingham. Basically, I was originally told they were going to start filming on The Boys the beginning of August. It now looks like they're going to start beginning filming of The Boys in mid-June. So that meant the guests I was in negotiations for wouldn't have been available. That's why I've had to bring the dates of the event forward. Also, the room rates the Radisson were offering me, I wasn't happy with. The Birmingham Hilton's going to offer much better room rates for attendees. It's a really good venue to use as well. Now, if you've bought a ticket for VoughtCon and those dates don't work for you, or you just can't get to that venue, then you'll have until January 1st to request a refund on your ticket. We'll offer you a refund if you can't make the new dates for VoughtCon. Send me an email before January 1st. That's the deadline to request a refund. Again, we're going to email all attendees about that. Again, I can't do it straight away at the moment, but we'll have a refund. We'll have an email going out to all attendees next week who've already bought a ticket. We've sold a lot of tickets already, considering we haven't announced any guests yet for this event. I am in negotiations with some great guests for it. I should hopefully have a few really good guests to announce by next week, but we've had a great response. However, again, we've moved dates. I totally appreciate that's not going to work for all our attendees. So just send me an email to info@starfury.co.uk about it, and we'll arrange a full refund on your ticket if you can't make the new dates for it. However, I think if we get the guests we're going for, you're still going to want to attend. We'll have those details up soon. Just to quickly also, before we move on to other matters, to discuss refund periods. We did refund periods for Crossroads 3. We did it for Enchanted 3. We did it for the Vampire Ball. We've just had a refund period for Survival 5. And also we did it for Greendale, although the event's got to be cancelled. We will be doing refund periods for other events that move dates. We'll be having a refund period for Ultimates Crisis, for Ultimates Agents Assemble, and for Highlanders. Is that all the events? I think there may be one more. I think that's all the events, but we'll be having refund periods for those events probably around early February time. You'll be getting an email about that. But if you're somebody who booked tickets for that before the dates were changed and you can't make the new dates, we will give you the opportunity to return the tickets and get your money back on those. So that's the bad news out the way. Again, my apologies to everybody who still had a ticket for our Sabrina convention, Greendale. I'm very sorry that we can't go ahead with that event. We will be refunding you. And also, those are the new dates for our boys convention, VoughtCon 1. So that's taking place on new dates. So just to remind you, VoughtCon 1 is taking place from 8th to 10th of August at the the Hilton Hotel that's in Birmingham. And I hope that we see you along at that event. It's going to be a fun event. Now, we're moving now into 2022. Starfury, all conventions, actually all our way of life, was thrown into complete chaos last year when this pandemic started, when COVID-19 hit. And that unfortunately meant that we had to postpone all our dates for all our events. It was no longer practical for us to go ahead with the conventions that we were running. However, the good news is that we're back, and we've already held 3 events this year. We had Crossroads 3, our supernatural event. We had Enchanted 3, our Once Upon a Time convention, and we also ran the Vampire Ball, our 11th and final Vampire Ball convention. I thought all 3 events went fantastically, and also we had COVID safety measures in place. We had no reports of anybody catching COVID at the event, and I think everybody had a very safe and very good time at the event. Now, looking to 2022, situation should hopefully be getting better. Now, we do have the problem now of the Omicron virus, and we have to be very, very careful and aware of the implications that that virus, that mutation of the virus, brings to events and doing live events such as ours. Now, the worry with that is how infectious it is, and also how it affects people who have even been vaccinated and if the vaccines work. On the other hand, it appears that the Omicron virus is far less deadly version of the COVID virus, that the mortality rate and the hospitalization, that it's just nowhere near what the danger COVID-19 originally posed, and it could be just a case of like having a really bad case of flu. So we're going to have to see how it goes with that, but we are going to maintain our COVID restrictions for the foreseeable future on our events, probably for at least for Lux 2 and for Survival 5. We may have to be making mask wearing mandatory at the event unless you're exempt from wearing masks. We're asking people to show COVID passports when they arrive at the event to show that they've been fully vaccinated against the virus, or to have a test to show a negative test. And if you go on our website, we have links on there, so you can actually go on the NHS website and get a free testing kit. You go on the NHS website, they'll send you seven days worth of test kits. Even if you've been vaccinated, I'd recommend that you do it. I've been doing it at events. I've just attended 2 events in Germany. I had a really good time. I tested myself every morning. When I was at the German event, really well run, had a really good time. Everybody was wearing a mask. Everybody had to show a COVID passport. Everybody had to take a rapid flow test every day, which is pretty much the same kind of requirements we've had at Starfury conventions. It's worked at the past 3 events we've done, so we'll be keeping that up for the foreseeable future. I have also been telling guests, in terms of the photo sessions, we're not going to be using plexiglass. I'm not having that. We'll be still keeping things safe, but seeing how things go, if things are getting better, we can start looking to getting photo sessions back to normal. So that's how it's looking at the moment in terms of where Starfury is, in terms of dealing with the pandemic, coming out of this pandemic. Hopefully this pandemic's coming to an end. Hopefully we'll have to see how it goes for 2022, but things seem to be getting a lot better on how they were. We feel we can get back to normal, get back to enjoying conventions again, but that's where we stand. That's where we stand in terms of refunds. That's where we stand in terms of how we're going to be handling safety precautions at the events. And I think that people can actually feel now that they can book for events and feel that they're going to have a fun but also safe time when they attend. Now, moving on to the events themselves and looking at what we have planned for the next year, we're actually ending the year with Starfury Destiny. Starfury Destiny, that's our New Year's Eve event, and that's going to be taking place, well, it's New Year's Eve event, so of course it's going to be taking place on New Year's Eve. And that's going to be taking place the 31st of December and the 1st of January. It's not a regular convention, it's just a party. It's a 2-day party for fans to get together and celebrate and have a fun time with each other. And we're giving tickets away for free as a thank you for people for supporting Starfury conventions, and thank you to the community and the Starfury family. If you bought a ticket for any of our events that took place in 2021, or if you have a ticket for any of our events in 2022, you can get a free ticket for Starfury Destiny. And joining us at the event will be Jonathan Woodward. Jonathan Woodward will be along at the event, so we can have some fun. He'll be joining us for the party. It's just a party. It's going to be a weekend of spending time with your friends, with your convention family, and having a bit of fun. So I hope I'll see some of you along at Starfury Destiny. That's taking place 31st and of December, 1st of January at the Renaissance Hotel, Heathrow. It's actually the Renaissance Hotel's first actual event back after all of this. So they're very much looking forward to that event. Now, our first actual proper event is a bit of a while away. Got a nice little break, but we'll be back soon at the beginning of next year in February. And here's a trailer for our first event back. So that's Starfury Lux. That's our celebration of the television series Lucifer. It's sold out. Such a popular event. The demand has been absolutely brilliant for it. And that's our Lucifer convention that's taking place next February. Hope we'll see you there. We got a fantastic lineup of it, headed by Lucifer himself. Tom Ellis will be joining us for that convention. We also have Leslie Ann Brandt joining us. DB Woodside will be along. A lot of you will also remember DB Woodside from the television series Buffy the Vampire Slayer and also 24. We've also got Rachel Harris joining us as well, her first time at a Starfury event. We've got Kevin Alejandro along. Kevin was really keeping the parties going at the last event. We also have, for her first time at a Starfury event, Amy Garcia. Another guest we have is Trisha Helfer. She's kind of sci-fi royalty after having appeared in Battlestar Galactica and many other shows. We've got Imbar Lavi, who as Eve is the newest cast member on Lucifer. We've got one of the show's producers and creators, Ildi Madrovich, and also Joe Henderson. And we also have the comic book artist Lee Garbett joining us. So that's Starfury Lux 2. And Lux 2 is taking place from the 18th to the 20th of February at the Hilton Metropole Hotel, Birmingham. And everything's all set for that event. It's all go. It's completely sold out. I think we're going to have an absolutely brilliant time at that event. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the Lucy fans that weekend. Then we got a bit of a break, and our next event straight after that is Starfury Survival. Oh God, sorry, that's me not knowing how to use the system properly here. Sorry to cut that trailer off a bit early, but that's Starfury Survival 5. That's going to be our final celebration of the television series, The 100. We've also incorporated into that event Motherland Fort Salem. We've got a great lineup of guests. So the first guest that we've got joining us is Paige Turco. It's her first time at a Starfury event. I'm very much looking forward to welcoming her along. We also have Luisa de Oliveira. Also joining us will be Chelsea Rice. We also have Sarah Thompson. Another guest joining us will be Tassia Tellis. From Motherland Fort Salem, we have Taylor Hickson joining us. We also have Amelia Home from Motherland Fort Salem. And also now joining us, we also have Nadia Hilka has been added to the lineup as well. So that's the lineup for Survival 5 at the moment. Looking at other possible guests for the event as well. So hopefully you'll be able to make that one. Tickets are still available. We've currently sold, given the size, it's at the Renaissance Hotel, which is a slightly smaller event. It's going to be at the Renaissance Hotel from the 11th to the 13th of March. You can book rooms now if you needed rooms. We're currently about 60% sold on that event, and we currently still have about 10 gold ticket upgrades available. So if you want to come along to that, it's going to be our final ever celebration of the 100, and we're also incorporating Motherland Fort Salem into that as well. So I hope that you'll be able to join us along at that event when it takes place next year. Now that moves us on to the next event after Survival 5, and that, as we said, is VoughtCon 1. That's our first celebration of the television series The Boys. I haven't done up a trailer for that one yet. It's going to be taking place from April 8th to 10th at the Hilton Metropole Hotel. We should be releasing for attendees to book rooms for that sometime towards the end of next week, probably next Friday. The Hilton's just getting me the room bookings for that and for Enchanted 4, so we should have those next week. I'm finalizing several really good guests. I'm really happy with it. I'm a big fan of The Boys. In fact, I actually have been a fan of The Boys since I was reading the Garth Ennis comic. So I've been a fan of it since the comic. Huge fan of it. Really looking forward to this event. I'm going to get a great bunch of guests for it. If you can't make the new dates, send me an email about it at info@starfury.co.uk. As I said, we're working on some good guests on it. However, the first guest that I can announce is Chantal Van Santen. A lot of you will remember her also from The Flash. She was on that show as well. And she was also in One Tree Hill. And she's currently on the Apple Plus TV show For America. Is it For Humanity? I'm not too sure what the show's called. Sorry about that. But anyway, she's on The Boys. She's our first guest for the show. And we'll be announcing, hopefully, fingers crossed, I should have some more guests to announce next week. We're finalizing some deals for The Boys at the moment to bring them along for VoughtCon 1. Tickets are on sale now. We've already had a fantastic response to this event. Really looking forward to it. And I hope you'll be able to join us at that event when it takes place next year. Now, at the end of April, we then go on to our next event. And the next event that we have at the end of April, if I can bring this up, is Crossroads 4. And that's our 4th Supernatural event. We just recently did Crossroads 3. And that was a huge success. It really was. It went really well. The fans had a great time. Tickets are really limited for this event now. Here's the trailer for Crossroads 4. There you go. That's Crossroads 4, our fourth celebration of the television series Supernatural. We've had a fantastic amount of support from the Supernatural fans. The Supernatural family has been absolutely amazing. It's going to be a fantastic event. So that's Crossroads 4. And we're joined at that event by Jim Beaver. We also have Richard Spate Jr. joining us. Another guest along is Tamo Pennicott, who, as well as having been on Supernatural, a lot of you will remember from Dollhouse and Battlestar Galactica. We have the British men of letters joining us, such as David Hayden Jones and also Adam Fergus. We have Lindsay McKeon joining us, who was also in One Tree Hill. We've got Rick Worthy along, another actor who was also in Battlestar Galactica, who's also in The Vampire Diaries. We've got Alex Pornovich joining us. You can currently see him on Hawkeye, yet another Battlestar Galactica guest. And also he was in Van Helsing and is currently in Snowpiercer as well. And also joining us will be Leah Kearns. She's a Starfury favorite. You'll see a little theme. I'm kind of like having a little mini Battlestar Galactica reunion going on within this Crossroads Supernatural convention as well. So that's Crossroads 4. If you haven't bought your tickets and you want to go, I would really suggest you buy them soon, as we're very limited. And I'm working on 3 more guests, and I'd be surprised if we have any tickets left after I confirm, if I confirm those guests. So yes, that's Crossroads 4, and that's taking place next year from the 29th of April to 1st of May at the Hilton Metropole Hotel, Birmingham. It's going to be a fantastic event. Then I've only got a week break, and I go straight into the next event, and that's our celebration of DC adaptations of DC comics in television or film. Really, it's just television. We haven't got any of the cinematic guests along. We've got a fantastic selection of guests for Starfury Ultimates Crisis. Here's the trailer. So there you go. That's Starfury Crisis. That's our celebration of television shows based on DC Comics. We've got an absolutely insane lineup of guests for this one, including Katie Lotz. She plays the White Canary, first appeared in Arrow and is the star of Legends of Tomorrow. We also have Brett Bassinger, who's the star of one of the latest DC TV shows, Stargirl. got Kat McNamara joining us, and Kat is not only as Mia Smoke, the daughter of Arrow, Green Arrow on the TV series Arrow, but she's also the star of Shadowhunters as well. Also joining us will be Nicole Maines, who plays Dreamer on Supergirl. We've got Jess McCallan along from Legends of Tomorrow. Matt Ryan plays John Constantine on Legend of Tomorrow. Got Rachel Scarston, who plays the villainous Alice in Batwoman. We have Brainiac from Supergirl, Jesse Rath. We've got Nick Zano from Legends of Tomorrow. From Stargirl, we have the main villain, Shiv, Meg DeLacy. We also have from Batwoman, Megan Tandy. From Arrow, Joseph David Jones. From Batwoman, we have Christina Wolf. Also joining us from Swamp Thing and also from Gotham, and also known from a lot of fans for having been on Teen Wolf, we have Crystal Reed. From Legends of Tomorrow, we have Olivia Swan. I believe this is going to be her first ever convention, and probably one of the most popular guests we've ever had, Kyla Lee, will be back as well. So that gives us 16 guests. 16 guests for Starfury Crisis. Starfury Crisis, which is taking place from the 6th to the 8th of May at the Hilton Metropole Hotel. Tickets are still available. We've sold about 3/4 of them at the moment, but we got 16 guests, and I'm working on one more from Supergirl as well for that event. I think it's going to be an absolutely insane event. And if you're a fan of DC Comics, if you're a fan of the CW Arrowverse, this is going to be an absolutely spectacular event. And all the Ultimates events have always been an amazing time, and I hope you'll be joining us for that one. And we have a second Ultimates event. We have one Ultimates event which is celebrating DC shows, and we have a second Ultimate event, and that one is to celebrate Marvel shows, and that one is called Agents Assemble. So there you go. That's Agents Assemble, our celebration of Marvel films and television series. We've only got a small lineup at the moment. That's headed by Henry Simmons from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We also have Enver Jokai, who was on both Agent Carter and also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. A lot of you will also remember him from Dollhouse, and he was also in The Walking Dead. We have Emma Dumont, who played Polaris in the X-Men spin-off series The Gifted, and also Skylar Samuels, who was also in the X-Men spin-off The Gifted as well. Now, there are more guests coming to that one. I'm working very hard on it. The problem is I'm trying to nab some major movie and Disney Plus stars at the moment, and that you can't rush. It takes time. I'm in negotiations for one person at the moment where it looks like it's going to happen, hopefully fingers crossed, and if we get them, it'll be kind of insane, and they've never done an event before, but we'll just have to see on that. But I am at the moment working on some really cool guests for that. As I say, I'm working on Marvel movies, I'm working on Disney Plus, but I'm not forgetting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. either, because getting a lot of requests for that. We've always had a strong lineup of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. guests as well, so keep your eye on that. We should have more information on that one come January. And then after that event, we go straight into July, when we have our celebration of the television series Outlander. So that's Starfury Highlanders, and that will be our celebration of the television series Outlander. It's taking place from 1st to the 3rd of July at the Hilton Glasgow, and we're going to be joined by Duncan Lacroix, one of the most popular characters on the show. We'll be having more guests to announce in the new year. It's going to be a really exciting event, and it's very exciting to be taking an Outlander event to Scotland. So I hope all Outlander fans will be joining us at that event. And the last convention that I will be discussing tonight is Starfury Enchanted 4, and that's our celebration of the television series Once Upon a Time, and that's going to be taking place from the 18th to the 20th of November at the Hilton Metropole Hotel in Birmingham. We're going to be celebrating Once Upon a Time. Hopefully we should have the booking code off the Hilton by the end of next week, so you should be able to start booking your rooms for that event next week. Even though the event is a year away, we've got some great guests already lined up. We've got Beverly Elliott, who plays Gran on the show, so she'll be joining us. We also have joining us Raphael Sabaj, who plays Jiminy Cricket, and we have Merrin Dungy, who plays Ursula on the show. So far we've got 3 great guests for it. We've got a headliner we should be able to announce soon, who I think people will go nuts about. But the event's a year away, so it's going to be a while before we start filling out the lineup even further. But I think this far out, having 3 guests already sorted for the event is really good going. So we've got a solid lineup already beginning to form for Once Upon a Time. So that's how it's looking for 2022. Now, I know that Fanables are also all going to be asking what on earth is happening with our Red Dragon convention, and that one I'm still in the process of scheduling. I can only offer my apologies for not having any updates for you yet. We have 2 very particular problems with rescheduling the Red Dragon event. The first problem that we have with it is making sure we have something that we can try and work into the schedule for Mads Mikkelsen and also Hugh Dancy. We want to try and get at least one or both of them. Ideally, we want both of them, but we got to get at least one of them for the rescheduled Red Dragon event. The other problem that we have with Red Dragon is that as a British convention company, pretty much on all of our events, 90% of our attendees come from the UK. And with the way COVID is going at the moment, we feel we can make things largely safe for our attendees so we can go back to having conventions again. However, with Red Dragon, about 50 to 60% of our attendees come from abroad. We have a lot of attendees from Korea, a lot of attendees from Japan, from Germany, from America. It's very much more of an international mix than any of our other conventions. And while I feel we can start getting back to going to conventions, traveling in taking a flight abroad is still very daunting for a lot of people, and with the travel restrictions and all the problems that poses. So I would really like to push the Red Dragon event towards the end of next year, so that way people will feel a lot safer traveling so that they can attend the event. So that's where I am on the Red Dragon event. I'm really sorry I don't have more information for you, but you know, if you look at the previous events we've run for that, I think the Fanables can trust me to put on a really good event. And I do want to say thank you to all the Fanables for standing by us on that event. So that's where we stand with Starfury conventions at the moment. That's all the information that I have. Sorry, it's been a little, some of it's been a bit rough around the edges tonight, but I haven't got Joe helping me tonight. But I felt we had to get an update out now because I wanted to let fans know what was going on with our Sabrina convention. Sadly, we've had to cancel the Sabrina event. Unfortunately, as I said, the ticket sales were already low, but having done the refund process for it now, it is now unfortunately not really feasible to carry on with that event. And also we wanted to let all attendees know that VoughtCon was now going to be taking place on new dates, and that was going to be taking place from April 8th till April 10th. And it's also moved to the Hilton Metropole Hotel in Birmingham, and we should have next week for all attendees the option to be able to book your hotel rooms for that one, as well as Enchanted 4. So thanks for joining me tonight. We're going to do another update next week. I don't know how much information I will have next week. I'm certainly working on guests still. There's a lot of deals that I'm trying to have closed before next Friday, because as I said, all the agents then go on holiday for Christmas and New Year, and they won't be back till January 4th. So I'm trying to close a lot of deals for next week. So hopefully I'll have some announcements. I'll also, as you notice, I've been doing a lot of Twitter competitions. We'll have another, I didn't get one organized for this week, but we'll have another competition going on next week, which was going to be Matrix themed to tie in with the release of the Matrix film. But other than that, I hope I've kept you all informed on what's happening with Starfury events, where things are going. My apologies to all the Sabrina fans. I'm really sorry I couldn't make that work. I desperately wanted to, and my apologies for that. For all the other fans, I hope I see you at an event in 2022. I really hope I see you at Starfury Destiny. We're going to have a lot of fun at that. But thanks very much for joining me tonight, and I hope I'll see you guys soon.
Oh